Welcome back, my friends. We are at another beautiful place, and today I have a message for the upcoming full moon for you, coming up on July 3rd. And it's coming up in the zodiac sign of Capricorn, which brings us a truly powerful, really strong energy. So it's getting intense right now. Usually we start to feel this energy about 3 days before, but as I'm noticing how my life is moving, it feels like everything is navigating us into the preparation for this phase. And as you know, we are right now on a road trip. We are where we are above some cities in Albania. We are moving towards Greece. We've just been through Montenegro, and now we are in Albania, and tomorrow hopefully we will reach the country of Greece, and then we'll see where the road will take us. So as it comes to this full moon, it comes to a wonderful, let's say, understanding that what is happening right now in our lives. You know, if we observe the Capricorn brings us a strong energy that reminds us that it's not about fast growth, but stable one. It's about organic expansion, organic evolution, and not a short sprint. Capricorns are strategic, they're well organized, they're well goal oriented. If you've ever seen a Capricorn in life, like in somewhere in nature, you would say they are truly skillful when it comes to their climbings. They're really mastering the laws of this of gravity, for example. They can climb really masterfully. But if you look deeply, the sign of Capricorn, you will notice that it's actually half fish and half Capricorn, which symbolizes the transformation from a fluid, spontaneous flow into well organized being that is able to climb and rise onto the top of the mountain. And that's how we can explain the energy of this full moon. It is really helpful when it comes to our climbs in life, as we are all climbing towards, sometimes just towards a greater understanding of certain period in our lives, but often we are also moving towards something that is, we have many flies here, many butterflies, many wonderful creatures. We may recognize that we're also moving towards something that is important to us. Sometimes we have these goals to manifest something big, like, for example, a certain something that can provide us a sense of freedom, which obviously reminds us that nothing can bring you freedom as long as you don't know how to free yourself. So Capricorn then reminds us to have a strategy for your life. And when it comes to this full moon, it will be a supermoon. And supermoon means that it appears a bit bigger than it usually does, because it's a bit closer to Earth. And it's so incredible, as we are now on a trip for 1 week. And as we're traveling with a camper van, most of the time we're sleeping at beautiful places in nature, and we're completely, connected with nature. We've disconnected ourselves from the internet, so it feels like we would be living a different life, because in nowadays half of us lives online. It feels like that, and half of us lives in this physical reality. But when you plug yourself out of the online world, you recognize what truly matters and what's truly real. So as we did that, and we only go online when we're sharing something with you, you recognize how much your mind cleans up. And you recognize how much easier it is to make a plan for something that is important to you, because you're not distracted by so many things. And I've noticed, well, isn't that a wonderful time as we're moving towards this full moon to really detox our minds, to really, find a great clarity around in what kind of direction we want to move and in what kind of direction we want to invest our energy. Because if you think about yourself as a being that is constantly investing your energy to the things you're paying attention to, you will notice that all those distractions are robbing you from your essence, from your energy for something that is so rich with creativity and abundance and freedom, and all those things are kind of taking your freedom away. And that's why you feel like you're not living a life of abundance. So when it comes to this full moon, it also comes to the energy of discipline, as Capricorn often symbolizes a being of discipline, because discipline is required for any transformation. From discipline we can draw persistence, right? And persistence is the force that helps us to move through whatever, only because we have a clear goal to get to where we want to be. And Capricorn is a symbol of the energy that is persistent. And this energy is really strong right now. So I'm trying to demystify the energy, to use a practical language to explain what kind of energy may be felt right now and how to use it. So ask yourself how satisfied you are with a structure you've built out of your life. Like, for example, when we create a certain discipline out of, let's say, me and Maya are traveling right now, but I'm still making videos every single day. That's because I'm disciplined around that. And it wouldn't be possible if I would not take time in a day and think deeply and meditate and journal my thoughts down and see what is, how to organize my thoughts. Because if you go on a vacation, for example, you can recognize that most of the time you just free your mind, and at some point you start to feel lazy. So when you're traveling and moving, driving so many kilometers and you're on the road like that, you have to have a certain amount of discipline so you can do things that are important to you. And for me, this gives me a sense of service, and I'm only sharing this with you because I want to remind you how meaningful a certain level of discipline can be. Not just for yourself, it helps you to make a certain order in your life so you can create what you want to see in your life, right? So reflect on the discipline, and I want to remind you that right now you're fully supported to level it up, to create more, let's say, clarity around what to structure. Like, am I happy with the way I'm living my life? Am I happy with the way I'm nurturing my body? Am I happy with the way I am nurturing my mind? Let's say, am I taking care of my mind? Am I reading? Am I educating myself? Am I expanding my intellectual capacities, my mental capacities? Am I training my clarity with some deep thinking? When you sit down and you just ask yourself, okay, what do I think that is happening in my life right now? And you're training that, what we call deep thinking. I call it a virtue because it's a really good habit that can help us to become more peaceful. Why? Because if you have a lot of incoherent data jumping through your mind, you will feel stressful. You will feel like your life is chaotic. But when you start writing down what you think that is happening in your life, you will start to make a certain order out of your thoughts. And they say that thinking or writing is the deepest form of thinking. If you start writing your thoughts down, you will notice that your heart will calm down as well. So stress will stop mastering you because you've started mastering it. And Capricorn is teaching you that. So if we appreciate the views a little bit right now, when we get to places like that, it reminds us of how little we are. It makes us humble. And again, it's a beautiful reminder what is coming up, as if you would look at the tarot cards, you will find a Capricorn as the symbol of the devil. The symbol of the devil. And that symbol is used because there are few reasons, but one is because Capricorn, if you look at how Capricorns are moving around, they truly look like they've mastered this dimension. They've mastered the laws of this dimension. It's hard to catch it. It's hard to even see it when they are wild, when they live somewhere in mountains. So when a being masters certain dimension, it's easy to use then the symbol of that being as a master of that dimension. And if you use it in a negative sense, you can say that that being is kind of a god of this dimension. And you shouldn't go beyond it, because if you go beyond it, you're kind of crossing the path of that god, and therefore it will punish you. And when it happens symbolically, we easily can create a negative image of that God, like that God is not allowing me to ascend beyond this. And if we use some imagination and some negative agenda, we can create a symbol that will scare people, like don't go beyond this. Don't try to to pass beyond the laws of this physical dimension, because you will get hurt. And that's what can awaken a lot of fear, right? Because in the old times, when people started exploring, for example, brain science, all religious people said to them that they are playing with the devil. And it makes us to think what it has to do with all that symbolism and why everything is like that, and it's because of polarity. Nothing in nature is defined until we define it, right? So Capricorn is not bad. It's not good. It's just a being of nature. But we are defining everything because we are kind of addicted to defining things so we can better understand them. But sometimes the best way to understand something is just to look at it and learn from it, right? And that's why Capricorn is such an incredible, it has such an incredible energy within, because it's so mystical. Like, for some people it's scary, for some people it's divine. But it reminds us that it is a master. It is really skillful, a force that helps us to develop certain skills, to build up certain skills in any way that is important to us, in any way that we want to become better at it, so we can be helpful for this in this society. And because we have the sun right now in the sign of Cancer, Cancer is this more heart drawn or heart-guided sign, it's a bit more insecure when it comes to social life, but it becomes really open, gentle, and generous, and loving and accepting once it opens up and feels safe in a certain circle. It's a beautiful connection when it comes to Capricorn, that is more mental sign, that inspires us to really organize our mind, to really make a good plan for our future, and really discipline ourselves so we can move through life goal-oriented, so we have something to aim towards. And when we have this beautiful connection of discipline, of goal orientation, and an open heart of connection, of a sense of service, of an awareness that we should only reach certain goals so we can use what we've learned on the journey of getting there to teach others how to live lives more meaningfully and more maybe magnificently, right? More fulfillingly. Because on each journey towards our goals, towards something that is important to us, we learn so much about what is not working, right? We fail so often, and it's natural. Sometimes people don't like failures, but they are a part of any journey. But when we look at the failures as the most important lessons we've gained on this path, we can then pass them on to others as a form of wisdom. Look, this is what I've learned. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but that's what I've learned. And then think about it creatively and see if it may be helpful for you. And once we look at everything like that, we become really helpful in this wonderful society of a great potential, right? So my friends, I'm wishing you for this full moon a wonderful time of nurturing your goals, your vision for the future, making some important plans for the things that are really, really major for you at this point, and understand that anything that is sustainable requires slow growth. It's all a marathon, not a sprint. And know that if things are moving forward, you're growing. If things are not moving forward, you're still growing. Just don't say that you're stuck. Because as soon as you say that you're stuck, you start to feel defined by the idea that you will stay there forever. You will not. I promise you that. Tomorrow is another day to try. So organize your mind, meditate on those thoughts, and remind yourself that you're capable. You're capable of whatever you can imagine. Whatever you can imagine was planted into your mind as an idea only because you're capable of achieving it, only because you're capable of making it happen. And know that sometimes what you want is not what you need, but what you need will always be provided to you. And if you're able to see what you truly need at this point, you can use it and create with it what you want. And that is a wisdom of life that can be learned through a creative process of transformation that we're all moving through. So my friends, I'm sending you all lots of love, blessings and power from Albania. I hope you've enjoyed this wonderful scenery. And I hope you found something valuable today. My friends, stay beautiful, stay magnificent, stay righteous. And thanks to all of you for supporting my art in our Etsy shop, I Draw My Passion. You're all truly appreciated. The link is in the description of this video. Till next time, one love. Now let's admire the view for a moment.